With a raging wall of water coming down the river, Kathmandu didn't stand a chance. This weekend, 9 inches of rain fell on Nepal's capital, the worst downpour since 1970. Parts of this city of 1.5 million people have been wrecked. As well as the army, every policeman and woman in the country has been ordered to join the rescue. More than 3,000 people have been brought to safety. Where the water was too dangerous for a boat, rescue was by zipline.
What should we do now? This calamity has happened everywhere, not just to us, but it's a big thing that our lives have been saved.
The annual monsoon rains usually end in mid-September, but respite is several weeks late. And people say these floods are more extreme than in previous seasons. In this valley west of Kathmandu, the downpour triggered a lethal landslide. Families watched, hoping the rescue teams would find their loved ones alive. But mostly it was bodies they found in the mud.
Total as such 17 plus.
Only yesterday we recovered the dead bodies of 14 people. Today we recovered another 17.
The death toll's likely to rise as more than 40 people are missing. Major motorways connecting Kathmandu with the rest of the country are impassable due to landslides and damaged bridges. The Nepalese government has closed all schools for 3 days and told people not to travel. The scale of this disaster is only just emerging.
At least 22 people are reported dead as Hurricane John that left a trail of destruction dissipated over Mexico. Residents in southwestern Mexico fled homes due to the flooding. The tropical storm dumped torrential rains and caused landslides in several towns along Mexico's southwestern coast. It slammed into Mexico as a deadly Category 3 storm and dissipated before returning as a hurricane and battering the Pacific coast. The remnants of Storm John continue to bring heavy downpours and mudslides, crumbling homes in its wake. In Guerrero, Mexico's worst heat state and also one of the poorest, 18 people were killed. To the south, 3 deaths were reported and a young boy died after being carried away in an overflowing river in Michoacan state.
Seguía lloviendo y se venía deslavando la arena. La gente salió llorando. Aquí no sé si quedó alguien enterrado, no sabemos, porque dicen que venía gente de trabajar a las 9 de la mañana, cayó esto. Toda la gente lloró, se espantaron que se viniera esto de encima y hasta ahorita.
Heavy rainfall and thunderstorms were forecast across Guerrero and parts of Oaxaca. Authorities in Acapulco said the floodwaters were starting to fall back. Meteorologists say warmer ocean temperatures are giving more fuel to hurricanes, allowing them to become stronger, faster, and leaving coastal communities less time to brace for their blow.
It's heartbreaking to see, and now we've seen it with our own eyes. There have been thousands of Tennesseans praying for the Tennesseans here in Upper East Tennessee. And there has been a great deal of effort put in making sure that help is on the way and assistance gets here. There's a lot of damage out there, and there are bridges out, and we've seen those. There are roads that are impassable now, so that isolates people for certain.
When you get in the air and you see the devastation, and these are not just, businesses, these are people, these are friends, these are families that I've taken care of, and it's something like we've never seen in this part of the state. Who would think that a hurricane would do this much damage in East Tennessee? But that's where we're at, and I've had people reach out from all over the country to say, what can I do to help you?
Hurricane Helene made landfall as the worst storm ever to hit this part of Florida. A wall of water as tall as a two-story building came with it. In certain areas, authorities warned this would be simply unsurvivable. Satellite images captured Helene strengthening, propelled by the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, from a tropical storm to a Category 4 monster in a matter of hours. This hurricane is making landfall right now, just a few miles from here. Authorities are urging people to take cover, to treat these winds like it's a tornado. That's how dangerous it is. This hurricane is so vast that even a few hundred miles from the eye, it was already causing serious damage. This, the beach town of Fort Myers.
We have had a report of a fatality on the roadway when a sign fell onto the highway. So that just shows you that it's very dangerous conditions out there. You need to be right now just hunkering down.
If you have been told to leave, you need to go. You do not want to try to ride this out. That surge is the deadliest part.
Warnings of historic wind and rain and mandatory evacuation orders. But fisherman Phil Took remained.
We're not prepared for 15 foot, but we can handle 10 foot. If it's only 10 foot, then they've missed their forecast, then I pray that they have.
What if it is 15 feet, though, as is being projected?
Well, we're going to hope to ride it out on one of these vessels right here.
The worst of this storm will be felt in the darkness. Daybreak will reveal the extent of the destruction.
Well, this morning, ongoing recovery efforts happening after Helene wreaked havoc across the southeast. People in Asheville, North Carolina, without power and cell phone signal this morning as mudslides continue to make recovery there really difficult. In Tennessee and Georgia, the downpours caused life-threatening flooding. And here in Florida, another day of cleaning up. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue is now in the Big Bend, helping residents with those efforts. And as the search and rescue continues here in Florida and across the country, the death toll from the storm is now more than 60. And take a look at all of this damage. Nearly 3 million people are without power from Florida to Ohio. CBS News Miami's Cristian Benavides shows us why the road to recovery is going to be a very long one.
Helene left behind a path of destruction after making landfall in Florida and making its way through the southeast. In Tennessee, National Guard's helicopters spent hours airlifting more than 50 people, including some patients, off the roof of a hospital where they had been trapped by floodwater.
Rescues have been made, attempts have been made. Some people are stranded on the roofs of their homes and places like that.
In Georgia and the Carolinas, severe flooding led to a number of rescues. In Asheville, North Carolina, residents were told to shelter in place as life-threatening floods damaged homes, toppled trees, and knocked out power to more than 800,000 people.
This is one of the worst storms in modern history for parts of western North Carolina. The end of the rain is not the end of the threat.
In Florida, cleanup is underway after Helene's storm surge and damaging winds wiped out communities.
So as you look around here, you see some homes that are now just rubble. This stuff's coming in, it's fierce, and it just is unstoppable. So there's a lot of damage.
In Cedar Key, near where Helene made landfall, some homes were washed away and others flattened.
Just the sound of the limbs falling and just, it was terrifying because, I mean, I didn't know what I was going to wake up to.
Millions who were in Helene's path are now on the long road to recovery. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.